Welcome to the Kendi and Raybo podcast, episode 5, recorded in Kendi's box room.
We're on now, I suppose, anyway.
Are we still conflicted over who gets to start us?
No.
Do you want to start?
No, because I do the bit at the start and you can start it.
Okay.
No.
Episode 5?
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
Episode 5, and it's not like the one we recorded last Tuesday, which was supposed to be episode 5, which I had a shit freak attack in, and I thought it was all rubbish.
Yeah, Ray had a panic attack.
That's terrible. Sure, I was asleep. I was almost asleep in the chair here. I wasn't fit to do it.
I came into the room and you had your hands folded sitting down in the chair like me old fella with a home and the eyes closed. You were about 5 or 6 seconds away from snoring.
I was nearly gone by the time you came in. But it was awful. It was raining outside and I got wet coming in and I was still in my work clothes and...
Yeah. Well, it's Monday afternoon now and Ray, it's probably about 24, 25 degrees outside, I'd say.
It's no weather to be recording podcasts.
Oh, it's unbelievable weather, man. It's class.
I hate it.
Yeah, did we discuss this?
We might have, yeah. No, we talked about going on holidays, but I've been looking into getting an air conditioning unit for the bedroom because I don't think I can stick another week for this.
Air conditioning is off bad for you.
It's the price of it.
No, it's bad for you anyway.
Regardless of that, it's about €400 to start. Get with an air conditioning unit.
And then I wonder how much it costs to run it then.
Oh, I haven't a notion. That'll be another
fortune.
Another fortune.
And all it does is dry up your insides.
True.
You'd be going around like Andy Flip Flop.
But I can't do another week like this.
What's wrong with you?
I can't sleep. I wake up wrecked because I sweat the balls of myself in the bed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
and I'm just drenched.
You want to be changing the sheets every night.
That's it. Like poor Emer, her heart is broke changing sheets every day. Do you know?
I think it's class, man. But I will say, I hope it goes away in the next 2 weeks.
Why is that?
Because I'm going to Lanzarote.
Right.
You know, you get the phone call from the fella back home. Man, it's 30 degrees back home here, man. You picked the wrong week to go. It's so miserable. Like, Irish people love that. Like your friends love ringing you when you're on holidays and tell you the weather is class back home, don't they?
Yeah, and then it's equally then when you get the phone call from the mother going, "Oh, it's terrible here now."
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you're sitting there, a big Cheshire cat grin on you.
Yeah, yeah.
Delighted with yourself.
Would you like a holiday update before we go any further?
Go on.
So we said that Nicola will kill me. She'll kill me for this. We said that she had the suitcases and the pillows ready. I can tell you all now, lads, she has the holiday clothes washed as well now. She told me yesterday. She has all that. We're not going for 3 weeks.
She's them taken out of circulation already.
Yeah,
because that's what you have to do. You have to literally take the good clothes out of circulation and look crap for the week and a half before you go.
Yeah, so she's going to be dressed in shite for the next 2 weeks, like, or
so
3 weeks.
Spot that now. So if anyone sees Nicola tipping about the town, make sure to say, "Jeez, I haven't seen you wearing that in a while."
Yeah, so she has all the holiday clothes washed, ready to go. She's going to kill me for saying that, but anyway.
I have a brown paper bag here in my hand.
Yeah, before we go any further.
It's beer time. Now, in fairness, I was told today that there was a man abroad in Duncliffe by the name of Colin Noon who has donated a box of craft beer and crisps for the show, but they just didn't get to us in time today.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is that real?
So I'm told, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so for the next show now, we'll have the big box of stuff.
Oh, that's class.
So the pressure's on now, Colin, to make sure it's right.
Well, fair play to you, Colin. Thanks a million.
But today I got 2 beers. I got 2 of the same today.
Did you?
I did.
I can hear them rattling around it. It's a bottle.
They're bottles. Yeah. But they got 2 of the same. I know it's gone off the beaten track with the old routine. But the reason I got these is they were looking at me in the shop and I thought, geez, I know that name. We had one of them long lost cousins visit the house. Did you ever have that? Where people from England.
Yeah, it's been a long time now, yeah. But
did you know the way they call over and the mother would get a phone call the week before and say, how's it going? My name is Patrick and I'm your mother's sister's son's son.
Yeah.
Twice removed. Yeah. Myself and the daughter are coming over to visit you because they're going to be in, and that's what we had a long lost cousin and his name is Adrian and he works for Fuller's.
Oh, he does.
Have you ever heard of Fuller's?
No.
London Pride.
Ray, we haven't got a bottle opener here.
I have a bottle opener.
Oh, you're a gentleman.
Yeah, I thought ahead of this. But he works for Fuller's London Pride.
I've seen this before. Yeah.
Have you seen it before?
I have.
I'd never heard of it. And I seen the bottles there today and I said to myself, I may get a pair of them.
That's
and we'll try them.
Just in case it is Fuller's.
Fuller's London Pride. Apparently it's massive in London and in the surrounding areas.
Slaunch.
See, I've got this now. I'm waiting for you now. Right, let's try this now. This will be the best part of the podcast.
Oh, that's nice.
Jesus.
I don't know if it's the sunny weather, but that was I closed my eyes and I was taking the first gulp. I said, oh, jeez, that's
unbelievable.
That's beautiful, that. That is absolutely stunning. It's not too sweet. Like, I do like a nice kind of a dry kind of a beer kind of job. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
Jeez, I think we might be onto something here now. And they're big bottles as well.
Yeah.
There's how much in them?
500 mil.
500 mil,
well,
yeah.
What is it? 556 is a pint.
And that'll get us through a good hour's worth of chat.
Oh, I'll tell you what. No, that'll get us through 3. That's beautiful, Ray. Jeez, you hit the nail on the head with that one, Ray, let me tell you.
It's funny because I had another alternative idea. I was going to go into Foley's off license and I was going to hand her £20 and I was going to say, me and Mark are doing a podcast. I want you to pick out 2 drinks that we'd like today.
Good idea.
And stick them in a brown bag and leave the change in there too. And don't tell me what they are.
That's a really good idea.
And I was going to just surprise the 2 of us.
That's a class idea. Did you get them in Foley's?
No, I got them in Centre and Castle Street, who do a lovely selection of beers and wines.
Marvellous selection in Castle Street. We're not getting a pound for saying that.
And they have an ATM in there as well that never works.
It's never on, no?
Oh, no, but it is always on. It's one of them portable ones, you know, the little shop ones.
Yeah.
And they're always out of service.
It's just, yeah. They are always out of service.
Always
though.
out of service.
Yeah.
Even the one in Heaton's, out of service all the time.
And I tell you, they're always Bank of Ireland ones. And every time I try and take out a pound, it says to me, this might incur charges because you're dealing with the devil of the AIB.
And it always asks you what language you want to transact in.
Yeah, in a square.
Yeah, and you're ready with your finger on the first digit of your PIN code, ready to put it in.
Yeah.
Wait for the screen to come up, and then you realise, shite, I have to pick the language, and you have to go back and think for a second.
Yeah. Like, if I did it, a square guy, I'd end up taking out my life savings without knowing it. What the fuck? Jesus, like. I can understand a mega that by. That's a good beer though, Ray. Fair play to you, son.
Thanks very much. The problem last Tuesday night now, and I realised this, we did record an old podcast last Tuesday, and I was disastrously bad in it, and I listened to it back, and I realised it's because I had nothing for talking about. So I spent the whole week working on things to talk about. Yeah. And Jesus, do I have news for you? I purposely kind of looked at the week and went, let's look at things now that a man could talk about.
Yeah.
And the first thing, I've a list in here now, I hope you don't mind. The first thing, and I have
item number 1 on
item number 1 on today's podcast agenda: toaster timers. What are your thoughts?
You're laying that one on me now, Ray.
I am, yeah.
Timers
in general.
You tell me if this is true or not. No, because you've obviously done your research.
Right?
Is it true?
I've done no research.
I thought that the numbers that were on a toaster were for strength of grill.
How can you numerate strength of grill?
I thought they made their own diameters for it. Like
you'd have to learn what 1 means.
I'm after toasting that on 2. Like I thought that's what it was. Someone told me last year that it's not.
I always thought they were minutes.
No, apparently it is minutes.
Is it minutes? Because that makes sense.
Which one is it now?
All my life, I thought it was some sort of a thing that toaster companies had come up with.
Yeah.
With levels of brownness or burntness.
Like this is UN kind of stuff. Like they ratified this. Like
the EU have a directive.
Yeah.
That all toasters must conform.
Yeah. To this limiter. Like of.
Yeah. Exactly. So.
Are you telling me it's not? You telling me this time?
I think it might be minutes.
But no. Sorry. You thought it was minutes.
No, I didn't. I thought it was what you said. Yeah. The UN directive.
I thought it was that too.
Yeah, but now I think it might be minutes.
Yeah, apparently it is.
Because
minutes.
I never know, and a different toaster is every toaster seems to be different.
Yeah.
Because what's 3 on your toaster at home? Yeah. You could end up with the lightliest toasted toast in the world.
I know.
And then you get some toasters with an accelerator on them.
Like a turbo shoved up the arse. Well, look, I have a toaster downstairs. She's a 1.9 TDI. You know, she's lethal. She's an awful yoke.
And you find as well that if you're only toasting 1 slice, that you run the risk of getting wrong as well. That you nearly need the 2 for consistency.
What the fuck does that mean?
Because if you put the 1 slice in, then there's the heat from the far side of the toaster coming through and hitting the 1 slice of toast, so it's getting kind of almost a little bit extra heat.
You shouldn't be.
No, but I have a solution.
Think about that?
I have a solution, lads, and I don't know why it wasn't invented years ago. Why don't we have see-through toasters?
Sorry, no. This is mental that you're saying that, right? There is see-through toasters.
Where?
Because I remember
listening. Curry's.
This one, the podcast that started all podcasts and made them mainstream is Ricky Gervais show with Carl Pilkington. And I'm nearly certain I remember them talking about a see-through toaster before, and they called Carl an Aegis. And apparently it's a real thing. If you look up eBay and Ratton,
you can get see-through posters.
I think so.
Toasters.
I think you can buy. I think it's so funny. Everyone who thinks about this topic must all come to the same conclusion and think that they're a genius. Yeah. See-through toasters, of course.
I thought I was delighted with myself Friday morning. I was going, I'm after realising what we need to do.
No, I think they've already done it, Ray. I think they have, yeah.
Fair enough.
I think you can buy a see-through toaster.
That's
you know?
item number 1 on the list anyway.
Also, if anyone can come up with an invention for when I'm toasting me waffles as to why I don't have to stick a knife into me toaster to
Why do you
fish
stick
it
a
out.
knife? Oh, to fish it out.
Because it's not the same height as a lump of bread.
That's with the waffle company.
Yeah.
You need to bring that up with the waffle
That they
company.
need to make taller waffles.
Well, they're trying to kill people by making small waffles.
I mean, you know, what am I supposed to do? Like, I enjoy a waffle.
The big news. I went to see Billy Joel at the
did?
weekend.
Yeah, how your weekend in general, Ray, was you enjoyed it?
I did enjoy it, yeah. I went to see Billy Joel and I was very excited about going to see Billy Joel. I bought the tickets like a year ago.
Yeah.
And they were something between 50 and 100 euros, so they weren't cheap.
Yeah.
And I was really looking forward to see Billy Joel and I was thinking to myself, Jesus, a fair
Sorry, no, we have a bear in the room as well.
Oh, Jesus, is that full of stuff?
That
Jesus,
came from
windy.
deep bite.
I was looking forward to going to see Billy Joel because I had never seen him before. And I was thinking it's going to be amazing to hear songs like Piano Man, Uptown Girl and all that in live like. And I went along to see Billy and about halfway through the show I turned round to my sister Marie, who at the time was giving out about the Seagulls getting a free show. You know, how come they don't have to get tickets? But as I was chatting to her, I said, I can't believe the fact that I'm actually getting to see the Billy Joel sing Piano Man.
Yeah.
And she turns to me, she said, but you've seen him before.
Had you?
I had, apparently.
Yeah.
I'd seen him in 2013 in the 3 Arena. And I had no memory of the gig.
But it's not like you seen him when you were 8 years old.
No, it was only 5 years ago.
Oh, for God's sake.
And she said she took out her phone and showed me a picture of me at Billy Joel.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
He obviously didn't have that much of a lasting impression on you.
But I still, and I've thought about it since Saturday night, I don't remember seeing him before at all.
How can you not remember going to a gig?
I don't, no memory
That's
of
only
the gig
5
itself.
years ago.
Yeah, it's only 5 years ago.
And did you play Piano Man last night?
Well, I'll tell you, he did Piano Man now, in fairness to him. He had a great crack humiliating punters.
Oh, that's good crack.
Because, like, you know, the Viva Stadium is a big spot.
Yeah.
And people would be getting their seats, you know, they get up and go to the toilet. He wouldn't start songs if certain people were up walking about.
Yeah.
And he'd go, we're just going to wait for you with the fancy jacket to sit down.
Oh, come out. That's class. That's a very Irish thing to do, isn't it?
It's a typical Irish one-man band thing to do when someone comes into a pub. And you do this a lot.
I do it the whole time. But sometimes to my detriment. I can't let people sit down and have a comfortable night. Like
What?
I have to call them out. I have to say something to them.
And what circumstances?
Well, last week, for example, on a Monday, there's a girl, she won't mind this now, Sarah Gordon, right? And she was on a date.
Oh.
And she knows the way I am at gigs, that woman
You didn't
shows.
do anything, did you?
So she was on a first date, a Tinder date, I think. And I spotted it straight away when I was having a pint of Spinix before the gig. And she knew that what I was going to do, because when she saw that I spotted her, she put her head in her hands and goes, oh no.
And she couldn't leave then. Or maybe she could leave.
Well, she could, but anyway, for 2 hours, she got berated anyway.
Like what?
Well, I mean, the second I got up onto the stage, I made sure to note that, Sarah, you're on a first date, aren't you? I hadn't asked her before this, like.
Oh, God.
And I said, well, what's he like? The whole pub was looking at her like. And I, at the break then, I asked her genuinely, I said, look, I'm awful sorry, like, what is he actually like? And she said, no, I'm enjoying him, like. So
I suppose that could add to it.
Yeah, so then when I got back up on stage, I said, hey, man, don't worry, man, she's into you.
You don't.
Yeah.
That's mighty. That's nice though, but it could easily go the other way. Like, well, she just got up and left.
Yeah, no, I know her though. That's different. It is dangerous though. Like,
you're kind of walking the line. But even him, he was kind of running that whole risk of, you know, picking on someone that didn't want to be picked on.
Yeah.
Because they got the cameras on the person and everything.
Yeah.
So they'll be up on the big screen. You know, I'll start when you sit down. And they're trying to find their seat.
Yeah.
I can't imagine 40,000 people in a stadium looking at me like that.
Comedians do that to some people. I know.
Oh, they do,
for
yeah.
sure. Like
up the front row.
He wasn't vexed. He was doing it out of jest, was he?
He was doing it out of jest, and he was also giving people multiple choice songs. So he come like every time you finish a song, and you go, right, you have two. Jesus, not the big burp.
The fuller man. She's making me fuller.
He's full of burps. He was giving people a choice, so he gives them like two choices, and he get a clap or a big reaction for each song to decide which song is going to be played.
That's class. Like
so
requests.
Yeah, so why don't you do that some night?
To see who claps.
No, as in you'd have two songs of mine going. I'm between two minds now what song to do next.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let you decide. So can I hear what you think of the old triangle? And you'd hear a bit of a ripple of applause. And can I hear what you think of wagon wheel? And then everybody go mad.
Of course they would.
Yeah.
Fucking song will never die. But I do just say to people anyway, Ray, I just say, look, come up and ask me for whatever the hell you want. If I know it, I'll chance it. You know,
he was doing a Sean O'Reilly. He was drinking a cup of tea on stage.
was he?
He was, and he was doing a Sean O'Reilly as well because halfway through the set he kept asking for a hot one.
That's Tabby.
No,
Tabby does that. This is Tabby, a friend of ours here, and Sean Riley, another friend of ours. When they be gigging together, Tabby would pretend that he's asking for a drink for Sean so that they don't get vexed at him behind the bar. Come here, Sean here is wrecking me head for a hot whiskey. We'll just throw him up one. He'd be drinking it then. He's lethal. He's lethal, that fella.
He had one last thing from the Billy Joel concert. I couldn't understand why he had a fly swatter on top of the piano. He had a fly swatter.
Okay.
And I was going, what? I'd never seen a rock star.
It had taken your attention to
it. It had, but it was only then as the night went on I began to see the amount of midgets that was up around the lights.
It's like the World Cup, yeah. Have you seen pictures of the World Cup?
No, go on.
In England's first game, you should have seen it. Wherever they were, they were swarming them with flies. Like, you couldn't play football in it. Like,
oh Jesus, this is Russia now.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it was the same thing. But obviously Ireland has the same problem you were saying.
Jesus, this cat. Which are midgets? It's terrible.
Yeah.
I days and days in the bog, just plagued with midgets. Or doing anything, even out raking bits of hay and midgets. Did you ever suffer from midgets?
I suffer from midgets, we should say. You can't call them midgets.
I call them
because they're not midgets.
No, you're right.
And you can't call them midgets
but that's
either.
what I always call them, midgets.
Yeah, I used to think they were midgets.
But they're not, they're midges.
Midges, yeah, midge. The midge on you. I used to suffer in football matches and stuff, but I wouldn't suffer on the bog. And I'll tell you exactly why I never suffered from midges on the bog.
Go on.
And this is a good one.
Don't tell me it's your blood type or something.
No,
is it?
I never went.
Oh, very good. You never had to go.
I just avoided the bog. I went to the bog once ever.
Oh, so you did go?
Once.
All right.
With Luke Bing Flanagan, right?
Huh?
He needed help on the bog bringing turf home.
The MEP Luke Bing Flanagan.
Yeah.
Who's always on about the bog.
Yeah, he's
saving the bog.
Yeah, he wants to save the bog. Yeah.
Right.
He loves the bog.
He loves
a turf if he
so
could.
you were down with essentially the king of the Irish bog.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was on the bog with the people who invented the bog. Right. And I went with another friend of mine, Kev, because Ming is his uncle. And Ming, in fairness to, gave me £50 afterwards. I said, thanks a million, Ming.
How long were you there?
I was only there. I was only bringing it home. We were there all day. Like,
I would have ended up working a summer to get £50.
Man, I got £50 for the day, and I said, thanks a million, Ming. Don't ever ask me to do this again.
What were you doing?
Bringing it home.
Oh, that wasn't so bad.
All we do is pack it and bring it home.
Yeah.
I only did it to get up on top of the trailer. Do you know? I was just excited to be in the trailer going home. Like, but this is the thing, right? I've never been on a farm really, bar with Trev, like when he'd make me do. I had no idea how slow an actual tractor was, right? So Ming's house was at one side of Castlereagh and the bog was at the other side of Castlereagh, right?
Right.
Which is a 2.5 minute drive, right?
Yeah.
An hour.
Took you an hour, yeah. Would do.
We had to do it 3 times. I was
But that's so much fun. That's the only reason you do the bog or bringing in hay, because you know you're going to get up on top of the trailer.
Oh.
But can you imagine now? Like, that's gone now. We can't do that anymore.
The bog?
No, getting up on top of the trailer.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that anymore.
Because you have to have a seatbelt on top of the trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, at least we're regulated.
You have to put seatbelts in and car seats and the whole lot.
Yeah, I know, yeah. It's
on top of the trailer.
Yeah.
But I'd missed that now. That was the big thrill.
Yeah, apparently the big thing was, and I was excited for it, getting up on top of the trailer on the way down. But you get fair bored halfway down Castlereagh, like when you realise I've been in this thing for half an hour. And I'm only on Main Street.
Yeah,
Jesus. True. Unbelievable. Like.
And when it came home then, what did you do when you came home? All the turf?
I didn't have to pack it into a shed. We just had to load it out of the trailer 3 times.
So
I don't think it did anyway.
See, now, our trailer used to tip up.
Yeah, you can tip.
Trailer.
Yeah.
So our trailer used to tip up, and the problem we had was when my father was building the shed, he never really thought, even though it was a turf shed he was building, he never really incorporated fully the idea of putting turf in. He put a hole at the back of it so that you could throw the turf into the shed.
Uh-huh.
But why didn't he just put a kind of a pit where you tip the trailer up and it just slides into the shed?
Yeah.
He never did that.
Yeah.
So for years, all we were doing was he'd tip it just outside the shed.
Yeah.
And you'd have to throw it from that pile into the shed.
So the tipper was null and void. You might as well have just thrown it from the shed.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the
but
truth.
More mornings you'd wake up and you'd look out the window praying and hoping for rain.
Yeah.
And I'd say a lot of the time fellas not wanting to go to the bog was the reason this country was the way it was the last couple of years. Because there was that many novenas said that it'd be shit weather tomorrow and we don't have to go to the bog.
Yeah, you reckon prayer has brought around the miserable weather in Ireland. Just for boys trying to stay away from the bog. But Ray, I understand it. Like, there's people who spend their whole summers on the bog, and there's old fellas who live for it. That's their holiday. I cannot think of anything worse than being stuck on a bog for a day.
with
It is
midgets.
my worst nightmare.
It is mine too. And I do meet people going, well, I'm taking a week off work. And I go, oh, are you going anywhere nice? Oh, we're going to the bog.
Pure excited.
Yeah.
It's completely my worst nightmare. I can't think of anywhere else in the world I'd hate to be. I'd rather go to Syria right now than have to spend the day in the bog. That's the truth.
There's one advantage. You'll never taste...
Sunstroke.
No. You'll never, ever, ever, ever taste a ham sandwich like the ham sandwich you taste in the bog. It just tastes, because it's a break. You've been at it for maybe 4 or 5 hours, and all of a sudden you get to sit there and not wreck your turf for a few minutes.
I'd say if you're a smoker, like the fag that you have on the bog when you're taking a break is probably the nicest fag you would ever smoke in your whole life. The same way that the sandwich would be the nicest sandwich you've ever eaten. Like,
Jesus,
just to get that little break.
A friend of ours, by the name of Dara Slack, has released a new album of songs.
Has he?
And one of the most amazing songs on it is a song about a fella by the name of Sean Love.
Right. Sean Hand.
Right. But that must be what I've listened to it a couple of times now, and it's about a man that spends all his time in the bog.
Go away.
Yeah. And there's quite a nice story about how he saves a heifer and the priest's dog from a howl. And if I wonder, can't put music up on podcasts? Can we?
I think on YouTube, if we're putting it on YouTube, they'll probably silence the podcast if you play music that they recognise. Yeah. Did he write that song?
He wrote it himself. It's very good.
Has he got it out and about?
It's on Spotify.
Oh,
if you look up the song, Sean Love.
Sean Love on Spotify. Look, is it Dara Slack?
Pook the Dragon is the name of the album. But it's
he's some character by Dara Slack, man.
But it's a fierce tune, and it's about a big man that goes to the bog.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12 hours a day. Do you know, he smokes turf.
Well, Johnny Fallon's on the bog right now, another friend of ours, a guitar player from
We could
Hot
do
Fuzz.
bog watch.
Yeah, we could let
People
him know.
could text to sing live.
You know for sure Trev has been on the bog this summer, for sure. And you know for sure he's been doing silage.
Yeah.
He's going to try and educate me, because he's always the one that educates me on farming. And I'm intrigued by farming, like, but I just haven't a clue. Like, I have a pair of hands, I haven't done a day's work.
Will we give him a ring there now, will we?
Do you want to try and give him a ring?
We'll give him a ring there now. Oh, Jesus, will he pick up at all, huh? Hello, Trev.
How are you keeping?
Come here, we're only on about turf here and stuff, right? And we had planned to give you a ring, and we said no better time to ring the man than we're flat out in the middle of a turf conversation.
It's all that's being lifted this weekend. It's home. It's in the shed.
You have it home already?
Oh, lad, it's been a great few weeks.
You're making the most of the weather, are you?
Oh, like I'd only go to work for a break, like.
That's mental, we're only saying. So,
can I ask a question?
Go on, Ray. Ray wants to ask you a question. Go on ahead, Ray.
I'm going to ask you a question there now. What was the time between the turning and the reckling? Was it done in a couple of days, or did you have to wait a week, or what kind of a case?
Well, you see, I'd be a man that wouldn't like to kill himself at the same time, but, you know, leave it to a group effort. We'd leave it maybe, you'd cut it and then you'd turn it after maybe 2 weeks, and then another 2 weeks you'd lift her, and then once it's lifted, you can bring it home really any time after a week, then once it gets a good bit of time. It all depends on the weather.
Not so bad. And come here, how many loads then did you bring home with yourself?
There was 10. A solid 10 loads.
Is that good? I don't know.
That's a lot of bog.
Doubtful only reckons that's only a small lot in it.
That's not a small plot of turf. That's bigger than I ever had. We'd be lucky to get 3 loads out of ours.
Ray's never done 10 loads, let me tell you.
My outfit is a psychopath and loves work, so...
Right, okay.
Trev, we're literally just saying that. What is it about Irish old fellas, right? And like the bog is like a holiday to them. Like, I bet your old fella was just excited to get out on top of the turf.
Lads, farming old fellas, not alone love work. What they love doing is they love making work for themselves.
That's deadly.
If you could do something in 3 steps, they'd do it in about 9.
Yeah, there was a friend of mine once said when his old fella was bringing home the turf, he said that fella nearly shite in the field just so we'd have something to clean it up, you know?
Come here, I'm going back to the bog for a second. How many young fellas did you have now bringing home 10 loads of turf?
There was no young fellas now. There's a couple of old bucks that we had with us, and we snuck it home nice and quietly.
Would there be an issue with neighbours maybe taking an ill view of your success in the bog? Would there be a jealousy there?
Lads, there was probably 14 loads of turf in that, but the old fella's like, tape it up there, we can't be thinking of bringing a bad load. Like.
This is all real.
Neighbours, right, you can't look bad in neighbours. You can't put the bad cattle in the top field.
I can't believe that's real life.
You can't put the bad cattle in the top field.
No, because Jesus Christ, the neighbours will see and they say, that fella's buying every sort of shite. Sure, if it has 4 legs and a tail, he'd buy it.
There was people asking me about my theory about hanging the dead crow outside the cow house. I saw that in your house when I was about 16, right?
The day I listened to that podcast, I went down to the yard and there was one shot hanging up over the bale.
There was another, your old fella had done it.
Yeah. Just bang, drop one out of the sky and sure, there you go.
And does it work, Trev?
Oh, the crows don't like it at all. They're like, Jesus, what did fucking Jimmy do that he got shot and over the bales there? So won't come here there.
I see what you mean, yeah.
So crows would look at him and say, lads, they're after knifing down Billy. I can't believe it. And in the fit of his health. And they'd say, I'm not going near them boys. That's mad, isn't it? That crows would have that conscience.
They're a hard, smart animal, like.
Yeah, that's mental, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing. They're not so smart when they get shot out of the sky for picking on bales.
Trev, that's been invaluable stuff there this week now so far. Is there anything now with all the good weather that's coming up? Is there anything you'd like to say or give it any little drop of advice to our listeners for the upcoming few days?
As the old saying goes, right? When the sun shines, make hay.
Yeah, buy it.
So you're saying make hay, just go for it.
Just go for it, drop it. It'll be good for the next week.
Trev, tell you what now, we might get you back on again for the next podcast and maybe talk about fencing.
Oh, lads, any amount of it. Thanks very much for having me on.
Thanks, Trevor. Fair play
Thanks
to you.
yourself.
Cheers, boys.
All right, so there we go. That was our agricultural correspondent, Trevor Coughlin.
He's good crack.
I think that went well, actually. Fair play to him.
It's nice of him to come on. I tell you, I'm raging now because there was another question I had from him.
Come on.
Whether or not he'd spread slurry on a Sunday.
Right, okay. Sacrilege job.
No, because my mother was giving out. She was on the phone yesterday. She said we were at home at the weekend, and there was and James Jean Farrell across the road. What do you think he went and done? He covered 4 of his fields in shite.
About you wanted the Sunday dinner,
but you can't go out and leave the house. You have to close all the windows, all the doors, and it's 25 degrees outside. And you want to be outside doing a bit of painting or weeding or something. And what was he thinking though, James?
You see, I know I keep saying it, Ray, but this is all stuff that goes over my head. That's why it's great to get Trevor on and talk like that. I mean, I love that stuff, but I kind of wish I was a farmer, but I just haven't the hands for it, as I said.
Nah, you haven't the hands for it.
You know, he brought me down on the farm a few times, Trev, and I was as useful as an unstates, I'd say.
Oh, that's good crack. Come here, I have a question for you.
Go on, hit me up.
No,
Ray, can I just say, actually, before I go any further, you're wearing the same combat shorts that we talked about on previous podcasts.
Now, for those people who haven't listened to see, I'm conscious of the fact that be some people coming straight in at episode 5 not knowing what you're on about.
Yeah, well, listen to the first 4 is what I would say to you. Ray has he had a pair of combat pants, right, that he had for about 6 years, and he always wore them. Emer hates them.
Yep.
They're a terrible looking yoke. Yeah. And they got so gammy. And how many times did you fix them up?
Well, I fixed them up a few times, and then I ended up deciding that there was a major hole coming on the top, so I got them to transform them from a pair of combats to a pair of combat shorts.
Yeah, you're wearing them now.
I'm wearing them now, yeah. But
right.
we've there's an incident, all right.
Yeah,
now.
You're sitting with your legs open here, man, and your budgie's nearly falling out, man. There's a hole in the crotch.
See, I'm in a bit of a difficult position now because
throw them out. Difficult position. Throw them out.
Should have told them to make sure to give me back the 2 legs that they cut off, because then I'd have spare material to fix like holes in the crotch.
Ray, you're taking it too far now. They need to be thrown out.
But they're geniuses in there. They'll be able to sort it out. They'll find material somewhere that I'm not using.
I'll tell you, Ray, there's nothing thrown out.
And they'll patch
house.
it up. Jesus, no, they'll fix that.
Your budgie's about to fall out in the middle of the floor.
Don't worry, no danger that she's wrapped up nice and tight, so it is.
The hole's not big enough for it to fall out yet, says you.
No, it's not.
Anyway, go on. Anyway, sorry.
No. I have a question for you.
Go on.
When you were at home in Castlereagh back in the day, would you have ever, like, there was what? There was you and there was the 2 brothers, and there was Eleanor.
Yep.
Right. Were you all in the house at the same time growing up? You were. You were pretty close in age.
Yeah. We're not mad far away. Yeah.
What were the most popular games that you'd play in the house?
Like in around the house.
In and around. Well, like obviously you have nowhere to go. Like you wouldn't be away from the house all the time, would you?
No. Oh, Jesus! I'll tell you what. Actually, we used to get. I have to lodge in something there now. We used to get up to some. Do you know what we used to do? Right, because we couldn't afford a pool table. We used to low play. Who could afford a pool table back then? Like,
but that's not something most children worry about.
I know.
I'm raging I haven't got a pool table at age 11.
Let me tell you, right? We grew up in pubs, right? because yeah, I know, yeah, because Dad would be gigging the whole time, and we would go to his gigs if they were around Roscommon and local.
Right.
And all we wanted was a bag of bacon fries and 2 pool cues. We didn't give a shite about the music that Dad was playing. We loved pool, right? We had no pool table at home. We used to cover the kitchen table in what you call a bed sheet.
Right.
And we used to get videotapes.
Right.
I put them all around the edges
Which
as bumpers.
I can kind of see, I can visualize this happening now.
And
right?
keep a gap for the middle pockets, keep a gap for the corner pockets.
Right.
Right. It was the worst pool table in the whole
But you
world.
made your own pool table.
Yeah.
What did you use for the balls? Tennis balls.
No, golf balls. We used to colour the golf balls into the different colours so we could play. And we actually bought pool cues.
Right.
To play on a table that was a kitchen table with a fucking duvet thrown over it.
And did you find that you had people coming over to the house to play pool?
No, we didn't have people coming over. We couldn't play it ourselves. We'd be vexed. We'd set it up and say, this is going to work. And then it never worked. Because you'd hit the videotape and the ball wouldn't go anywhere. Cause it
wouldn't bounce off it, of course.
There's no bumper on a videotape. Jesus.
That's a serious design fault.
When Mum and Dad used to go out for an old drink as well themselves, you know, and maybe Ray'd be looking after us, he'd be the oldest one, you know. We used to be mental into WWF, right?
Right.
WWE now it's called.
Yeah.
Right? And we used to play a wrestling when they were gone because we weren't allowed to do it when they were at home, you know.
Right.
And we used to do it every weekend. And I remember one time they had taken the carpet up out of the living room. And you know when you pull a carpet up, the little ridges around the outside that hold the carpet in have like little spikes coming out of them.
They're like a rose bush, yeah.
Yeah, like a rose bush. And someone power slammed someone.
Oh, no.
Right? I think Joey might have got power slammed. And his hand came slapped down at the oak. And he was covered in blood.
Is that why you can't play guitar, is it?
That's why he can't play guitar.
Not to save his life, the poor fella.
But that's all we cared about, pool and wrestling. We used to be stone mad. We were one of those that would VCR SummerSlam and
try and learn the moves.
No, and WrestleMania and go into school on Monday morning. If anyone mentions anything that happened at WrestleMania last night, lads, we're watching it when we get home. Do you know the way it is?
You know what the worst thing is, though? As a family, you've not changed much. Because now anytime when the Liverpool game is on, you'd come into the pub and you'd warn everyone. If anyone tells me what the score is in the Liverpool match, they're getting the belt.
Yeah, Joey. Yeah, because we play football on Wednesday nights or whatever, and when the Liverpool be in the Champions League, which isn't too often nowadays.
Not too often.
Joey'd walk into the pub. Anyone mentions how the Liverpool match is going, lads. Honest to God. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. I'm trying to think what else we done, Ray. Pool, bad pool, wrestling. Used to do a lot of wrestling now.
Will I give you a few of mine?
Yeah, hit me.
We were out, obviously, in the bog. We lived there.
We're back in the bog again.
Yeah, well, that's where our house was. We didn't have many neighbours.
You built a house on the bog?
Well, my father did, and we landed in there then as a result.
And it's sinking ever since.
But we were stuck for, like the more than yourselves, I suppose, we were stuck for stuff to be at. So, one thing we used to do, we did a couple of different games. We used to play mass. We used to play mass. Yeah. You see, because we used to have stations in the house and they were fairly regular. So I suppose when something's happening in the house and it's a big thing, you're drawn to it from a point of view of kind of going, we can surely do this ourselves.
Are you telling me you wanted to be a priest growing up?
No, I didn't want to be a priest, but just it was a good game.
Good game?
Because we get Marietta biscuits or rich tea biscuits, and that'd be the body of Christ.
Ah.
And we'd have 7-Up as well then for the wine. And we'd get the good crockery out of the sitting room, and we'd set up the table in the living room, and we'd set it up, we put a little white sheet over it to give it the old, and 2 candles.
Oh, Ray.
And we'd pull up a few chairs.
Is that really?
And my 2 little sisters then, because I don't think Karen was around at this point, but Marie and Joanne anyway. Joanne had no choice because she was too young. But Marie would be willingly sitting there anyway. And we'd do mass, and I'd be the priest. And
Father Fitzgood and Dice over in the corner. Jesus.
Yeah, so mass was a big hit, you know.
You're very simple people in Killala like this.
And when we get through playing mass, then we'd have other things like the bus to school.
Was
and
a
that'd be essentially just 3 chairs pulled together, and I'd be driving the bus, and there'd be stops. We'd imagine the stops. Like the bus wouldn't be going anywhere, but there'd be a lot of banter, you know. Imagination was key in these situations.
The bus to school.
We do hotels. We'd have a hotel out in the garage.
I used to do that one.
Did you?
Yeah, we used to do that one, myself and Tommy and the boys.
Yeah, we'd have a hotel. We'd run the hotel.
Yeah.
They were good times. And as well, we ran a shop.
Yeah.
And we put a sign out in the road
Yeah.
saying we're selling things that we just got from the kitchen.
We used to do the same thing, but yeah. That's
And one time,
yeah.
2 tourists, 2 French tourists pulled in because the scene shop. And the pair of French tourists came up to the shed and myself and Marie sitting there going, "Jeez, we didn't think this through, did we?" Oh, cash register. No, nothing.
Oh, Ray. Why were 2 French tourists doing the Killala? They took a round
They've been driving on, no. You know, we went through why French tourists come to Killala.
Yeah. Because of General Humbert.
Because of General Humbert.
Yeah.
And the fact that baguettes, you know, and Cuisine de France.
Yeah,
and
of
all
course.
that,
It was where the first baguette was.
What other stuff did we do? We did school. We obviously, everybody played school.
Sorry, there's a trend emerging here from this, Ray. Most of your games, and probably a lot of other people, are just, they're not games. They're just things that people do. You know, we did taxes. I used to do Marie's taxes. Jesus, like.
We had a disco out in the shed as well.
Did you?
We had a disco. I was sitting behind 2 radios. And I had the 2 radios tuned to 2 different channels. So when one song had finished on 2 of them, I'd turn up something else. I'd turn up Midwest.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was mixing, and I had
You were mixing the radio stations.
And I had a ladder set up down the floor of the garage, and my sister Marie would be above on the ladder with a flashlight. And she was the lighting technician. And so she could react. She could have the flashlight on me, or she could have it wobbling round the garage. You know. Oh Jesus, yeah, good times. And we could cycle around our house.
No, like
we had bikes, like.
Yeah, but we had bikes as well, let me tell you. But you couldn't be cycling around the house. No.
Couldn't you hadn't.
No, we did have a full circle. You could do a 360 job, but
you had places to go cycling. I suppose.
We had places to go cycling.
All we did was cycle around the house.
We grew up in the state, like.
I'd said my neighbours were looking over going, there's the poor McAndrew kids as well going round in circles.
The same way. Ray could only cycle a bike, he could only turn left.
We'd mix it up once in a while. The biggest thing that ever actually happened to the house was when we got a swing in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
Yeah. Similar to us, we got a trampoline in, which made the wrestling, it was wrestling 2.0 on a trampoline because you could actually slam someone on it and they wouldn't get hurt.
And they wouldn't get a bit of carpet fixing in the side of their face.
Oh, we used to, you'd be jumping off the wall onto the trampoline. We were there.
Did you get that for Christmas? Did Santi bring that?
No, I think we got a trampoline for the summer.
Because Santi brought some awful stupid things to our house.
Yeah. I got a set of golf clubs once.
Right.
In the middle of December.
That's not, we got a basketball ring.
Oh,
That's fine, because you get up at 6 o'clock and you see this beautiful basketball ring, and you're thinking, great, we're going to play basketball for months. And then you read the instructions of the basketball ring, and for it to work, you have to fill the base with
water or sand. Yeah, yeah.
And the sand hole was about as big now as the bath hole, the hole in the bottom of the bath.
Yeah.
So there was me at 7 o'clock on a Christmas morning out getting a bag of sand from behind the wall that was left there when they built the house and bringing that in to fill it slowly.
Yeah, it's a nightmare, yeah. You can fill it with water too.
It's like filling salt cellars. Oh, water, yeah. No, we found that out about 6 months later that we could have just used water.
Or if you even wet the sand, then half water, half sand.
Half water, half sand.
Oh, there's good weight in wet sand, let me tell you. There's marvellous weight in wet sand now. We had a basketball ring as well, but we used to actually be into basketball.
Were you into basketball?
So that was the best present I ever got. Myself and Kev were both, my next door neighbour, we played basketball for the school and stuff.
Oh,
but I got a proper basketball ring.
Like up on the wall, like?
No, the same as yours, we'd fill it with a bag of sand or
a
a bag of
portable
water.
job.
Yeah. And she was a good one though. She was Reebok.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, she was fair fancy. I'd say she was the far side of £150 now.
And would you have worn all the basketball attire?
Oh, we wore all of it. You should have seen the state of us. We're dressed with LeBron James, the two of us, 2 white young fellas from Roscommon, dressed up in the headbands and the wristbands.
Down in Bob Flynn's.
Bob, give me an old Air Jordan headband there if you don't, and an ump of calf nuts, please, Bob, as well, if you don't mind. No, but we won 2 All-Ireland titles playing basketball in
Basketball?
School. Yeah. Castlereagh, CCS, Castlereagh Community School.
How come you don't play basketball now?
Well, because all sports took a back seat, like when I started playing music. Like
that's right, yeah.
I don't play it anymore. A bit of soccer with the boys.
That's true. Like. Your music career is paramount now.
And plus, like, basketball is a hard sport to keep going because there isn't clubs left, right and Kenty. Like, you can't get a club. Like, there's a club in Castlereagh now, but only for the last 3 or 4 years. There was never, even though Castlereagh Community School had a high basketball tradition, really good basketball tradition, there was no club in Castlereagh or Roscommon, I don't think. Now that I've moved to Sligo, I just see the EJ's All-Stars.
Do they have a basketball team?
Do you watch EJ's All-Stars?
No.
Oh, they're near, like, that's a high quality job. Like, They import players from Spain. Like Spain is a high basketball tradition.
You're telling me there's a basketball team in Sligo?
There's a really good basketball team in Sligo. Really
Right.
good basketball team, like for the Irish League. Like Pau, like who's a friend of mine. He just come into all the gigs. He is the coach. And Javier is the head coach as well. They're two Spanish guys. And then they have Jesus. He is a big lump of a 6'9" monster of a Spaniard, and he plays them as well. He's been brought over. Like it's not like just there's some local boys.
10 years in Sligo, never once heard of these.
The EJ All Stars.
I thought you were talking about the lads in the shop.
No, EJ
because
sponsors them.
I always thought they were kind of EJ saying the lads that work in the shop.
Are
EJ's All Stars.
That's
how I thought. I never knew it was a.
I'm telling you, it's a basketball team. Yeah, they play down in the Mercy Convent College.
I'll have to look into that there now.
No, it's really good. Like,
I have something else to say to you.
Go on.
Do you remember on Friday night when me and you were in the Fiddlers?
Yeah.
And you were playing?
Yes.
And do you remember your father and mother came in?
Yeah, it was a good surprise that they just landed down.
And you went to introduce your mother and father to one of the gentlemen in the band.
I did, yeah. Mikey,
and
the
how
drummer.
exactly did you introduce your mother and father to Mikey the drummer?
I said, "This is Mikey. This is my dad, Eamon, and his girlfriend." I love that. I always say that.
Oh, it's very good.
And then Dad said to Mikey, "One of me girlfriends now, Mikey." He got it straight away.
Oh, very good. And then we met himself, the American.
Oh, we met the American, yeah. And Ray, it's in the so. I'm playing the before party of a huge American wedding. He's getting married in Sligo. His whole family are from Sligo.
Yeah.
Right. He got in touch with Fiddlers. We're getting married on a Wednesday. We want music on the Tuesday night. Fiddler said, "Yeah, Mark can."
We'll try and cancel Mark.
Yeah, we get some
try and get
proper
something
music.
else in.
Okay, you need some high quality stuff. Okay, yeah, we get. No, so he said, "Look, can I?" They said, "Yeah, Mark's playing. Can I chat to Mark?" Yeah, you can, of course. I told him to come down to the gig on Friday night, and there's a big buzz.
The big buzz.
There's a big buzz around Fiddlers now. Let me tell you
about the Americans.
The American
coming in.
wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an American wedding.
Because it's very like what it used to be back in the day when there'd be American wedding.
Yeah.
Like the whole parish should be talking about the
or
fact
just
the Yanks are coming over.
Yeah, the Yanks are over, and so everyone there's a big hullabaloo going on to try and make it work out for them and stuff. And obviously you've heard about it as musical director.
Yes.
In Fiddlers, and you came up to me. I just thought it was so Irish.
But you were talking to him.
I was chatting to him at the bar, sitting at the bar after the gig, and you came up to me, and you didn't look at me. You just looked at him, right, and looked him dead in the eye and said, talking to me, and said, "Well, so this is the American, is it?" That's the most Irish thing you can do. Oh, the American. Look at him. He's so fancy.
Yeah.
Look at him with his
But it's only when you said it after me and I kind of thought back and I went, Jesus Christ, probably not the best. That's what I do with drinking me. I do say, I
just thought it was so funny. There's such a buzz going on around Fiddlers about this. Like, everyone's heard the Americans coming, like the Americans in tonight now. Look, Mark is talking to the American. You can well. This is the American, is it?
Almost like he'd come into me patch.
But I'll tell you what, he's a fair gentleman now, let me tell you.
Yeah, you were there till half two drinking with him.
Man, I was sitting there, I couldn't get over him, man. He had a buzz of positivity that ran through me veins. Fair play to him. And it touched me soul if I have one.
They do have that now, the Americans.
Oh, yeah. Like, I do enjoy talking to them. But, so, like when he asked, could he come in on the gig and stuff, he wants to play a keyboard on it.
Yeah.
I was kind of saying, no problem at all. Jeez, I hope he's good and stuff. Right? I was going, oh, geez, a bit of a nightmare. And when I talked to him then, he convinced me to let him do whatever he wants.
You're looking for drum kits now and fiddles and the whole lot.
Yeah, if he brought in a gospel choir, I'd say, no problem, bring them in. He's such a gentleman, man. Oh, for God's sake. Anything else right there?
I have another thing. Have you updated your Snapchat yet?
I don't really use Snapchat.
I know. Well, anyone that was using Snapchat, there was an update a couple of months back.
Yeah, that turned your story.
It just
wrecked it.
Changed the whole thing around. Now everybody's gotten used to it at this stage. And it's normality now.
They're changing it back, are they?
No, it's not that. I met a person at the weekend that has yet to update their Snapchat.
And they're still using the audio.
They're still using the old one.
Sure, they must be delighted.
They are delighted, but they were looking at my one going, how do you do all that? Because it's moved on so much that they're still using the old antiquated one.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been updated.
But they're probably delighted, Ray.
No,
I don't use it anymore since the update. It's gone.
How is it gone? It's just lost.
It's lost its bit of vigour. Instagram has taken over the world. That's for sure.
I hate that.
You hate Instagram?
I was not. When you're not on something when it happens first, then you're begrudging it ever since. You're kind of going, oh God.
I joined Instagram a couple of years ago, and I've maybe about 260 photos on it. Like, and you've already joined it. You've about 3 photos on yours.
Four,
because
it's
hard to break that and go. Nicola joined as well. I'd be saying, be putting up stuff. Just be putting it up.
Yeah.
There's no quarrels on Instagram, you know.
Yeah.
Bar the Instagram voice.
What's the Instagram voice?
I don't mind what anyone puts up on Instagram. I don't mind food. People give out about food on Instagram. I don't care. Put it up. I don't care what you put up. Put it up a picture of your Mickey. I don't want me.
Nice.
I'd put up a picture of my Mickey, but I can't fit it into the photo. I can't get the selfie far enough back to fit my whole Mickey, and I'd be doing it otherwise too.
You need someone to take the photo, and you don't want to put someone under that position.
Yeah, and it had to be at the back garden, like just to get the whole lot in. But the one thing that drives me mental on Instagram is the women's Instagram voice. Have you heard it?
How do you mean? Are you going to do an impression here?
You know, when they're either selling something or promoting something, or they're a public figure.
Right.
I reckon they all go to like an underground class to teach them how to get the Instagram voice.
Right.
You know, and it's always
I'll
women.
bite.
It's the.
I don't know what you're talking about here.
Do you ever hear you click into a story and all you hear is, "Hi guys, I'm just here at the I'm at the conference here in Dublin and
I have heard this.
It's everywhere. Why are they singing all the notes? Stop singing your words. It's so bad." Especially with gigs, like, you know, like women, like female country singers and all them that are doing gigs, they all have the voice as well. So you can join us tonight. We are gigging in Bundoran, in Donegal, and we're super excited to do the gig. Can't wait to see you there, guys. Okay, bye. Why are you singing? It's an Instagram, so just talk to us. Jesus. I'm telling you, you're going to notice that now. Go into your Instagram stories, you'll notice that straight away.
That's funny. You know, I have heard it because young Emer, when Emer goes to bed at night, Emer spends a solid 45 minutes in the bed.
Yeah.
Completely unsociably going through her backlog of Instagram stories.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I love it. I love the end of the day where I haven't looked at my phone and I go, oh, there's a good bit of content on that now.
Yeah, but I'm lying there, sitting there twiddling my own thumbs, kind of going, what?
Yeah.
Do you know, and all you hear is the singing, in fairness to them. Yeah. And the boomerangs, or as they call them, Boomies.
Yeah. They're calling them Boomies now?
Yeah, Boomies is kind of, we take a boomie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't mind Boomies until a wedding I was at recently with herself. And she asked me, would I help her take a boomie?
Right.
So we went outside. Now, there was drink taken at this point, and we went outside to the hallway to try and get a boomie around one of these fancy floral. Now, for anyone that isn't on Instagram, a boomerang, or boomie as they're so termed, is basically a very short video.
A 1 second video.
Like a 1 second, 1.5, maybe 2 second video where it records you making a move, and then it automatically plays it back in the one clip.
Back and forward, back and forward,
it's just a repeat of you giving the finger, or a repeat of you showing your arse, or something along the lines.
Yeah. Or the peace sign is a big one.
Peace sign, yeah.
That one, yeah.
And a big smile.
Yeah.
But
tilting the head as well. That's another thing the viewers be doing on the tilt of the head.
Oh, you have to tilt the head.
If you're doing a boomerang and it's a peace sign, you have to tilt your head because it goes back and forth. And I know this doesn't correlate well over podcasts, but that's what they do, if you can imagine it.
But
you know.
Then the worst thing was, we were trying to take this boomerang, and every time I took one, I'd look at it going, "You look like an idiot."
But you do look like an idiot.
So because I had a few drinks, I was especially honest about the whole situation. Right. And I kept saying, "No, that's shit. That's shit." So she started getting tick.
Oh, yeah.
She started getting tick. Would you just take a boomerang, for God's sake?
I don't want to do it now. I didn't want to do it anyway. Now, when we went to holidays last year, we went mental on the boomerangs, jumping into the pool.
We did,
that
but
was
you
a
have
big
time.
one.
You have time for that, and that's fun. You're jumping into a pool.
Yeah.
But this whole, as you said, tilt the head back, tilt the head over, peace sign.
Yeah, it's funny.
You know, another thing is twirling the dress.
Oh, that's a big one.
If you turn the dress,
you have to pull it over the front and back again.
But it looked like she was doing a vaudeville show or something.
Do you know what my mammy said to me when she came to the gig on Friday? Afterwards.
You mean your father's girlfriend?
My father's girlfriend. She says to me, I got a new phone. And she says, take one of those selfies on it, will you? So if you go onto my Instagram, the last post I put up is a selfie with me and Meow.
I seen that, right. And was that on the new, what kind of new phone did you get?
Oh, I got a Hawaii.
A what?
A Hawaii. No. A Hawaii. I'll spell it for you, but I can't spell it myself. Hang on a second. Huawei. Hawaii. Hawaii. That's what he says.
How do you actually pronounce it?
Hawaii. I don't know. Huawei. I got the P20 Pro, man. She's fair. She's a good yoke now.
And you like it so far?
I absolutely love it. Yeah,
How'd you find moving over from that
big
phone?
Big move, because I have iPad, Apple TV, MacBook, and I had an iPhone.
Yeah.
And I just go, you know what? I'm going to go for an out change. And I said, fair play to me. And I said, go down to the car and go into the shop.
And get a Hawaii.
And I won't get a Hawaii. I looked up a lot of them to see which one I wanted. I was going to get the old Galaxy S9 or whatever it is. And I said, no, I'm going to get the Hawaii.
But you not think about the Galaxy S9 that kind of, they built it and the screen was too big for it. So they kind of just pawed it on around the sides.
They
wrapped
folded it back
Yeah.
over around the outside of it, yeah.
Two boys in the Samsung factory, jeez lads, we're after ordering 50 million of these screens and they're not the right size for the phone.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. All right.
That's why I hate using them, because I feel like I'm missing bits because it's wrapped around.
You've actually made me just look at my own phone to see if it does that. It doesn't though.
No, she's not fancy.
Anyway, she's a marvellous bit of stuff now.
A Hawaii.
I highly recommend the Hawaii if you
She's
want
got
to move
14
away.
cameras on it as well,
There's
hasn't
a
it?
40 megapixel camera on the back.
Jesus.
There's 3 cameras on the back, and then there's one of them that's black and white, and there's a 20 megapixel camera for the selfie. My jaw never looked as well, Ray, on a selfie. That's facts. Anything else, Ray, before we go any further?
You'll have to do a shout out there to a lady who did her junior cert.
Oh, yes. I wanted to give a wee shout out to Sinead Gorham. It's a good job you reminded me of that, boy.
I wouldn't let you down.
She reckons that our podcast helped her get through her junior cert.
Isn't that nice?
So fair play to her, Sinead. Now, and I've said this before, if you are in junior cert, Sinead, I'm sorry, I curse way too much. My old lady warned me about it to stop cursing.
And you haven't stayed from jail.
And if you're in junior cert, you shouldn't be listening to us at all. But fair play to you
You're
all the
studying.
same. She doesn't know. She should have been studying.
Another big shout out is, it would appear that a lot of our listenership to this show are travelling musicians on Fridays, Saturdays and sometimes Sundays.
Yeah, big shout out to Gary Sheeran, rang me. He rang me at the weekend and said, I'm just on the way home in the van with the boys here from Radio Star.
Isn't that great?
We're all in bits laughing.
That's nice.
Great.
We're getting people home safe.
If you want to shout out,
Yeah.
send us a message. £50 into the account, you get your shout out.
We'll
No
put up
problem
the
at
bank
all.
details on the Facebook page.
Just over 10 fivers.
10
You
fivers.
get your shout out.
Thanks be to God we managed to do. That's a great saying, isn't it? Thanks be to God.
Thanks be to the God above.
Thanks be to God above that we got through episode 5.
Yeah, I think it's. Have you anything else you want to say, Ray?
Fair play to Trev.
Fair play to Trev, the agricultural correspondent.
He did well. Mark was quite worried that he'd come on and make cunt of himself.
I was just saying, he's an old country hick, like that fella hadn't a clue. But he seems to have
the knowledge.
cosmopolitanized himself a little bit, so that he has social situations off to a T.
He has he's good at being the modern farm manager.
He is
here in Ireland. 2018.
Yeah, fair play to him, man. He's I love that guy. He's a very good friend of mine for about 20 years.
Yeah.
Would you believe now?
That's nice.
And I wish him all the best.
Very well. We'll get him next week.
We'll get him again, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So fair play to you.
Oh, and fair play to you as well, Ray.
Fair play to us.
Fair play to the two of us.
Yeah, that's another one done. And sure, we'll see them next week.
Yeah, keep subbing the whole shagging lads. Subscribe, like, share, send us messages, the whole lot, and we'll see you again. Good luck.
Good luck.